Good morning, guys. Super early here. Super early here. I have so much to do today. So I want to be in a certain area see, the thing about it is that it's all about traffic here, right? If you beat traffic, you're good. Like if I leave to go somewhere now, it'll take me an hour to cross the city, right? And if I leave in an hour, going to the same exact place, it'll take me 2.5 hours to cross the city. So I'm meeting some people now, and we're gonna meet around 6:30. So we're gonna meet around 7 actually. But what I rather do is get there earlier instead of sitting in traffic. Because sitting in traffic, you can't really do that much. I have homework to do. I'm already almost a week behind on some of my work. And not that grades, because right by now, once I turn stuff in, they deduct a percentage of my grades just by turning it in late, which I've never really done before. Last week, they took 2 out of 15 points, which still put me at a good, percentage points, whatever, but that's not the point. For me, it's more about learning right now anyway. I've always been about grades and learning, but for right now, it's more about learning more than the grades. If I can get away with, an 85, whatever, that's fine, which is what I'm at right now, where I'm going to keep it at. Or, hopefully higher, but whatever. But I'm learning a lot. So anyway, good morning, Baldy. Good morning, Baldy. Good morning, Baldy. And you too, Baldies. How's my Baldies doing? I got a bunch of Baldies now, not just one. I got one Baldy. I got 2 Baldies. Good morning, Baldies. It's 50 degrees here in. Hold on, let me turn this off so you guys can hear me. It's 50 degrees here in Los Angeles, California, and feels nice. I like it I like chilly mornings, so I can have my chai tea, right, and have an excuse to have tea to be warm. So anyway, so much going on, and I'm excited. I'm excited about everything that's going on, because for the last 3 years, what I found funny is that a group of losers have really thought they were going to stop me, and Baldy knows who that group of losers are. And I hate to break it to them, but prior to knowing you, I've never had any problems. Never, just never had any problems. And I know you wish that was different, I know you wish that wasn't the case, and that I was, that I had criminal backgrounds like some of you, that date back to 30 years, because, that's just who you are. That's just what makes you. It's what has kept you going. Your crimes, harassing people, threatening people, assaulting people. But as far as me, that's not who I am, And you've tried over the last 3 years your best to create a criminal background for me. You've really tried. You've really gone out of your way. How many failed cases now? How many false charges now? How much perjury? And it's funny that now Smelly mentions New Jersey, because the reason why it's funny is because she's on tape talking about New Jersey and what a criminal and a liar that person is. So yeah, it would be good for all of this to end up in a court. It would be good to subpoena Bianca. It would be good to subpoena Marco Gutierrez and have him testify as to what this criminal in New Jersey did for years. That would be pretty interesting. It would be awesome. I wouldn't think Bianca would lie before a judge, and because especially since I have all her messages where 5 years ago she tells me that this man is dangerous and to be careful with him because he won't stop harassing us and threatening us and stalking us and harassing every single one of our followers. And as you know, Bianca had big dreams, so that was a big concern of hers, because he's such a maniac that he kept on tagging Bianca and Marco and Latinos for Trump in an attempt to get back at me for wanting nothing to do with him, while I have his text messages where he tells me that that he's infatuated with me, and he knows I want nothing to do with him, and he knows that I'm completely out of his league, and that he apologizes, but that's just who he is. And yeah, I mean, it is who he is. Look at the criminal background. Yeah, it is who he is. So yeah, it would be interesting, Smelly. It would be really interesting. And see, for me at this point, and with everything I've accomplished, and as much as I've laughed at you for everything you've done, it would just be fun to drag you through a court and get you to spend your money on everything you've done. I mean, think about it. With everything you keep on doing every single day, with everything you've done, and that I have thousands. I mean, you could see that I have everything saved. I have thousands of records saved from everything you've done. Not only that, but you plastered your face all over a smear campaign with so much. I mean, I just cannot believe you tried so hard. I can't believe you tried so hard. And then you tried restraining orders, and you went to oh my God, she literally drove to an event, okay, for an hour and a half from her house to serve me with a restraining order, claiming she was terrified of me. And not only that, but brought her disabled granddaughter with her, claiming I was a threat to them, and then let herself into the venue uninvited, okay? And then pranced around the venue, narrating her hate, and her envy of me all over the place. It was pretty obvious, and but claiming she was there to serve me with a restraining order until the police came and removed her from the event, as we would say in Mexico, culo para arriba. The police, we had to wait 2 hours after we called 911, so that made it about 4 hours total, maybe 5 hours. 911 took about 2 hours to finally show up. The Chula Vista Police Department took about 2 hours to finally show up. So this erratic maniac could be removed from this venue where she was literally attacking people and throwing papers in their faces, including a man in a wheelchair who's been to the White House like I don't know how many times, who's like this major known leader in America now, and throwing papers in his face while he was sitting in his wheelchair, trying to fend for himself. And this erratic maniac was was attacking him with paperwork. Oh my God! And so yeah, it would be good for all of this to end up in a court, because see, I know you're an idiot and you don't really know how things work. But do you really think judges are stupid? Do you really think all the other cases pending against the person who claims he's a victim, and the cases are not just from me, the cases are from I don't even know how many other people. Do you think all those other cases that are pending and that have already been completed and he's been convicted of, do you really think judges are stupid and don't see a pattern? And then a video where Amy exposes all of you for working together in this. And then the records of Fabiana filing on the same week as her buddy, using the same attorney, just in a different state. Yeah, I know. No, Mary, you really got something here. You really got something here. But see what you're doing now, and what you try to keep on doing daily by stalking me and harassing me and everything else that you do, and really what you're really doing is felony. It's cyber stalking. I know that you think it's funny because you do it online from your shithole, but it's really a crime. And it would be fun, since it is a crime, it would be fun for me to drag you through a court system, especially because now you're doing it against my public name, and you're directly trying to affect my congressional race. So I don't care if you're now collaborating with Democrats or who you're trying to make us believe that you're collaborating with. You're the one behind this, and you've been behind this for years, because you've left your name out there at courts. You've left your image everywhere, videos everywhere, and we know you're behind that scammers page. And if you become directly responsible for everything you've done. And just putting you through a court and making you defend yourself for everything you've done would be the right thing to do. I know how much it bothers you to have to spend money and pay for the consequences of your actions. And again, I don't care who's behind you. I don't care, because see, the bottom line is what your objective, which is to truly destroy me, as you can see, is not happening. Nor will it happen. And again, it's funny that you mentioned New Jersey, because even Bianca would be involved in all of this. And not only that, but I was never in court. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but I've never been to court as far as any that case anyway. I've never been to court, and you'll find out more. I know you're an idiot, but you'll find out more. I know that you don't know things and you're an idiot, and it's really not my responsibility to fill you in with anything. And I know you're an idiot, but I've never been to court. But I will be. I will be. You already know you already know the status. You already know the situation. Don't play stupid, And I've never done anything to that, to that criminal. Ask Bianca; she'll tell you. Your buddy Bianca, because she will probably end up getting subpoenaed, and so will Marco, because that's where it all started. He started harassing all of us, just a maniac. I mean, just going crazy. And then I have you on audio saying what a maniac he is, and what a criminal he is, and how he's just crazy for claiming that things happen when they never happened. So all of that, it would be good. It would be good. It would be funny to see you go through a court and make you responsible for everything that you do. And what's really cool too is that you can't stop yourself. I mean, I could forget about you like in the next hour. You're just not important to me. You never have been, and you know that. But with you, you're so obsessed with me that you can't let go. You can't stop. You'd be one of those people that would end up getting arrested while trying to prove something, just because it overtakes you. I'm going to continue to move on. I don't care who. I don't like you're a liar, and you're kind of like Cerda. Remember that one candidate that got arrested? That's how you are. I mean, you guys grew up with those type of Mexican grandmothers that tell you that if you don't do as they say, La Llorona is going to come and get you in the middle of the night. See, I didn't grow up like that, and that's why you act the way that you do, and that's why you try to fool people, because you were fooled as children. Your mother weren't educated, and they fooled you, and that's how you go through life. You're a direct result of your childhood. You go through life treating people that way because that's how you were treated. I know how some people grow up, and I mean, you and Cerda are very much alike. Your mothers are pretty similar. You just grew up in different places. That's why you get along. See, with me, instead of treating me like an idiot at 3 years old, my dad was teaching me how to read and write and add and subtract and multiply and divide. So by 4, I already knew how to do all that. And by 5, I was already starting to speak English at my school. And see, again, I know it's different than you, but that's how you go through life, fooling people and threatening people and trying to get away with your lies everywhere you go, And with me, it just doesn't work that way. And again, I know it bothered you in 2019 that you couldn't find anything on me because I pretty much had a pretty perfect life, I hate to break it to you, Mary, but that's just the truth, Amy tried so hard digging with investigators and records, and there was nothing. So, you really think you're going to shame me? Yeah, good luck with that. And again, it's funny that you bring up New Jersey, but while you bring up New Jersey, just know that brings up Fabiana, Bianca, Marco, you, Amy, every single one of you, which are all part of a criminal hate group. At least from what Amy says, there's about 3 of you so far that I have gone to court with that are part of this criminal hate group. And I mean, I would love to, you know. So yeah, it would be good. It would be awesome. Hi, Julie. I see you watching. Sucks when someone had a restraining order against you and have to call the police because they won't stay away from you. I know. She had a restraining order. No, she petitioned a restraining order against me, and she drove 100 miles to serve me with it while leaving her disabled adult, her 30-year-old granddaughter in the car. I mean, I don't know how old she is, but she's, I don't know how old she is. I think she's between 29, 30, I don't know. Her 20-something, 30-something-year-old granddaughter in the car in a coupe, okay, for hours. I mean, the drive alone must have been over an hour. Then the wait at the event where she was not invited to was another 4 hours, because she was making videos against me for about 2 hours inside the venue while claiming I was a threat to her. And then what do you call it? And then after she got thrown out of the venue, physically removed by private security, and private security calling the cops. So they made the first phone call to 911. It wasn't even me. It wasn't even my idea. I was inside busy with people from the White House and Trump advisors, and oh my God, it's so embarrassing for her, like so embarrassing. So I was inside, with again advisors from the White House, and we had this beautiful green room. I was with Joey Villa and a bunch of other people, like, just taking pictures, hanging out, talking about her speeches, talking about whatever was going on at the moment. And here's this freaking maniac outside filming herself, and attacking the audience and attacking leaders and attacking a man in a wheelchair and throwing papers in his face. Suddenly I get a message or a call, I can't remember what it was, from a friend of mine who does security sometimes. And he goes, Paloma, be careful. There's some maniac, some psycho out here. Called her something else, but because he also speaks Spanish, Ruca, and this Ruca, psycho Ruca out here, throwing papers in people's faces, talking about you, just going insane. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, she's literally in the parking lot, going from car to car, approaching people. Like literally, by the way, he would go to court as well. Actually, he was in court already to testify all of this before a judge. And he, that's his profession, he's a security guard. And, well, he does that on the side, but he's a professional, and he's very eloquent. And he would have no problem testifying as to what he saw that day. So this is what he saw. He saw this psycho Ruca, going from car to car, approaching people and throwing papers in their faces and showing them this picture of a foot or something. I don't know what she was showing them, some picture of something. And he was like, Paloma, I got out of my car, and here comes this this weird looking woman and has like a pack of papers in her hand, and she starts shoving it in my face, and I'm like, what? And he was like, I got away from her because she's literally scary. But then she moved on to other cars, and then she's inside the venue, and then she's, she looks like she's just unhinged, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. So then, obviously I knew I had to stay safe from her, because she'd be capable of like scratching me or trying to pull my hair, or maybe something even worse. I mean, once they get that unhinged and that obsessed, you never know what could happen. But anyway, all of this was going on while her disabled granddaughter in diapers was sitting in the back of a car in a coupe when, I'm not going to go into detail, but it must have been really, really uncomfortable to be sitting there for almost 5 hours. And not just obviously because it would be uncomfortable for anybody, but for additional reasons that really, really, total abuse. Who would make someone in that condition sit through 5 hours of waiting in a coupe, this tiny coupe, old tiny coupe, so you can go and harass someone who is, 30 years younger than you, as old as your children, because she has children my age, and and actually it was in San Diego, Greg, and because she's jealous, because in her deranged, erratic, psychotic mind, she thinks she's going to destroy my life. Oh my God. Yeah, she was going to destroy my animal shelter too. Yeah. And you were going to keep me off the ballot. Yeah. And you were going to stop me from running for Congress. Yeah, okay. Sure, Mary. You know what? I would love for all of this too, because see, like I said, I can forget about you in an hour, and you know that. I have so much to do. I have so much positive in my life. I could go on for the rest of my life and never think of you again, but you can't. So that's where you're going to end up losing in all of this. You can't stop posting about me. You can't. You can't stop posting everything I eat. And see, the more that I do, what is going to happen now is that the more that I do, the more that you're going to go crazy. And so the more that you go crazy, the more you're gonna post about it, because you need an outing. You can't keep all this stuff in. It's eating you up inside to see me live my life. If I went to a French restaurant a couple days ago, oh my God, it's driving you crazy. It was really good, by the way, something you probably never had. You don't even know how to pronounce it or what it is, but I went to a really great French place that my friend took me to. And it just drives her freaking insane. But see, I've been going to these places my whole life, Mary, and I know you haven't. And I know the most you know is the more common places in San Diego, like Mr. A's. Who cares? That's so cliche. It's so whatever. You really don't know much else. And the only reason why you know it is because it's so close to Tijuana, where your mom is, and where you really technically where your hometown is, but anyway, I've been going to these places my whole life, and I'm going to continue to go, and I'm going to continue to have the life that I've always had. And the only reason why, again, for those of you who don't know, the only reason why I have any connections to Tijuana, which someday will be a city, I hope. Right now, it's just a downtown area, and just dirt all around pretty much, is because of my animal shelter. I have nothing to do in Tijuana. I'm not your mom. I wasn't born there. I wasn't established there. I didn't do anything there other than a dog shelter. I've never done anything else there. I don't have a business there. I don't have a life there. I don't have friends there, because it's just not for me. It's just my dog shelter. That's all. And it's a great place for some people. They people can be friendly at times, and it's moving towards a better city, and or a better place. I get all that, but it's just not for me. It's just not for me. The only reason why I've ever been there is because of my dog shelter. Because for decades I've rescued animals, much longer than Facebook has existed, or PayPal or anything. So I've been doing this since I was a kid, pretty much. And again, the only reason why I have any connections to Tijuana is because of its geographical advantage of, being so close to LA, and being able to house whatever dogs I want, while at the same time being 120 miles away from my city, from LA. my home, and what will always be my home, Mary, as much as you hate it, you know. I remember when I told her in 2018, because she was just persistent, that I moved in with her, and I was like, no, like, I don't even know you. Why would I move in with you? Well, now I understand the whole picture. You know, she's like, yeah, why don't you move in with me? And, you know, I have a room. And I'm like, you really don't have a room. She didn't have an extra room. You know, she was going to throw her granddaughter out of her room so I could have her room. That doesn't make any sense, because she had a townhouse, so she didn't have an extra room, you know. She just had a little 3-bedroom townhouse, you know, which she called a mansion. And that just goes to show you how erratic she is and how deranged and out of touch with reality she is. And she's like, I'll pay you $50 a week and give you a place to live. I was like, first of all, I don't need you to give me a place to live. Like, she was making it seem like it was an incentive for me. And I'm like, why the hell would I want to be here in the middle of nowhere? I mean, it's you know, San Diego. Back then it was in San Diego. You know, San Diego's a great place and everything, but it's not where I want to be. I have no business in San Diego. It's boring. I mean, I love it. It's a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong. And, you know, as far as a social life, if you have one, there are a million restaurants and a million things to do. But I grew up in LA. Like, once you grow up in LA, it's hard to match it with anything. Maybe Miami. But once you're used to the LA lifestyle, you will, like the way I am, you will never get used to being anywhere else. And not even San Diego, nowhere. Maybe, like I said, Miami. You know, maybe Miami, Brickell, not South Beach, but Brickell, or, you know. But as far as, for me, being stuck in the middle of a neighborhood in Carlsbad, no, I don't think so. And then do what, you know? And then for what? I mean, I don't need some random woman in need to give me a place to live and making it seem like she's benefiting me, when in reality she's just so miserable and a slave, you know, to her own life, because that's really what she is. She has no freedom, and because she has no freedom, she's constantly seeking out to people to help her. Nobody wants to help her. You know, people get so sick of it so quick. And not to mention that as I've told you guys a few times, I got sick around her. You know, I got really sick around her. I don't know why. I don't know what allergens. I don't know what I don't know what frequencies. I mean, I don't know if it's energetic. I don't know if it's actually physical, tangible. You know, if it's an allergen, or if it's a frequency, or if it's I don't know what type of magnetic field she has around her, or she emanates, or whatever. But whatever it was, I got sick around that woman. And I will say it for the rest of my life. I got sick around her. And I don't like being around people that make me get sick. I literally started developing pain around my feet, legs. Then one time it was very, very prominent. The pain was very, like, the illness, the pain, whatever it was so prominent. It was sorry, I'm trying to think of a bunch of different things. Not Valentine's, but St. Patrick's Day. And I felt so sick around her. Oh, it was horrible. It was just something I had never experienced before. I was so sick I could hardly walk around the downtown Gaslamp district in San Diego. You guys know that I'm always in heels. I'm always running. I'm always active. I'm always strong. Well, let me tell you, that day I was in flats. Okay, flats. I don't wear flats. I was in flats that day, and I still had trouble walking from the body pains that I had, which did not make sense to me because they only started after I arrived at this place where she was at. And I don't ask me what it was. I don't know. I mean, scientifically, I don't know exactly what the reasons are, but but all I can go by is my own experience and my own experience of being around her. And I got sick. I don't know what it was, but be careful out there for those of you who she's trying to recruit. I've heard other people got sick as well. Somebody who lived at her house apparently ended up with cancer. So be careful. Be careful. You know, maybe chemicals that she has around her. Like I said, I don't know. But I do know, I guess we'll never know, right? I guess we'll never know. But what I do know is that every time I was around her, I got sick. I don't like how she talks about manipulating people. I don't like it. I don't like how she talks about scamming some guy for $500 a month, you know, some random guy that just gives her money. I don't know exactly how it is that she can get some guy, you know, because she says it very clear. I just, you know, I take money from him every month, and I'm like, okay. But, you know, she's very, like, just very obnoxious about it, you know. I mean, it's different if somebody wants to help you and just says, whatever, you know, people want to help you sometimes. But, especially, you know, if you're poor and you're in a bad situation, and, you know, maybe whatever, but just the way, just how obnoxious she is about it, something tells me that something's not right, you know, because she's not humble about it. I mean, if somebody gives you $500 a month to help you, then you should be really thankful for that, especially if you need it like she does, you know. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so thankful. This guy gives me $500, whatever, you know. But no, she's like, yeah, I get $500 every month from this guy. And I can guarantee you the government doesn't know about it. And it's a fixed, secured income that she gets. You know, it's not random. I mean, she's very clear about the fact that she gets it every month. So it would be good for the government to investigate and know that it's not just some random donation from some guy. It's something that she's probably been getting for years. But why? You know, does this guy just feel really sorry for her? Or does she have something on him? Because, you know, that's how she is. And I don't like how she talks about her predictions and having these you know, according to her, these psychic powers, because it makes her feel like she can actually get things done, like she has power over people. But the bottom line is that she's an idiot, you know. That's why she approaches people the way that she does, the way she did with me, you know. That's why she reached out to me without me knowing her, with her pity story about her being bothered because of me and all this crap. And I'm like, that's weird. Why would they bother you because of me? That was her original contact with me. Her original contact with me was to tell me that some people were harassing her because of me. And I was like, that's weird. I don't even know you. I've never met you. I mean, I've seen you around, I think once, but I don't, you know, I'm not your friend. So why would people call you or harass you about me? And she was like, oh, it's because I'm on your friends list. And no, it was her initial attempt to infiltrate herself into my life. She targeted me. She was like, I think she saw something in me at the time that she felt that she could take advantage of. You know, she was probably like, I am going to recruit her as my next victim, you know, the next person who I will use and take advantage of. And because she seems kind-hearted, and she seems, I don't know what it is, you know, because you guys know that evil people, they know how to spot others. They know who to mess with and who not to mess with. And at the time, I was very naive. I had never dealt with these crazies. I had never had friends outside of this, outside of my social circle. I had never made friends, you know, with people outside of my own, you know, social whatever, you know. And so I started meeting all these weird people like Jasmina through the political movement, like Bianca, like all these people. And look at how all that turned out, because they were not my friends. They were just people that I met through the movement. I mean, look at how much hate Jasmina has for me. Last time I talked to her, we were supposed to meet for lunch in San Diego for, I can't remember, something she was selling. You know, she's always selling something. She's a hustler herself, you know. But that was the end of it. I didn't know anything more. And before I know it, she's attacking me all over social media, because the bottom line is that she's hated me for years. And I've always known that, you know. I've always known that. And I fought back against it. And I think she knows that. And she hates me for it, you know. I've been fighting against Jasmina since 2018, you know, because I know how much hate she has for me. And whether she calls me and tells me, oh, let's meet for lunch so we can blah, blah, blah. Nah, woman, I know you hate me, you know, but see, and then with Mary, oh my God, I knew, you know, and it was just weird because she seems so nice at times, but it was a type of nice that was so fake, because again, she thinks she has power over people or whatever. But see, I had already been around a maniac like her before, you know, and I noticed weird, very strange behavior that I just red flags everywhere, you know, her tone of voice, her, you know, offering things, but people like her don't offer things without a reason, you know. Anyway, I'm almost in the valley. Now I just had to cross, like literally go get it across town. People like her don't just offer things, you know. They always want something. And most likely whatever you get from them is going to cost you a lot. And not that I ever wanted anything from her, but she was trying to offer things. And I was like, oh, I don't, no. You know, there's something about you that I just don't trust, you know. And I told her, I was very clear with her one time. I mean, she might not have understood, but I was like, you really, like, you know, as long as you don't try to take advantage of me, I think we're going to be fine. But the minute you try to take advantage of me, you're gonna see a whole different side of me, okay? Okay? No, the minute you try to take advantage of me, you're gonna see a side of me that you're not gonna like. I don't like people that try to take advantage of others, you know? And she didn't get it. She was like, you know, back into her own pathetic reality, you know, her own little world. And I think later on she saw the consequences, because first of all, I'm not one to stay quiet, and I never will be. And second of all, she's got a lot to lose, even if she doesn't think that she does. And yeah, it would be great for all of this to end up at a court. It would definitely be great for all of this to end up at a court, and everybody end up at a court, you know. Amy, you, Bianca, Marco, Fabiana, everybody who's part of the hate group, you know, Karen Spain, Jerry Lee,